Let's be ready to listen today's story. And today's story title meaning of the story is safekeeping. Let's read. I am so glad you are coming to live with us, Aunt Emma. 12-year-old Jane said as she placed at hand knitted butting into Emma's trunk of keepsakes. Jane and her mother were helping Aunt Emma pack in preparation for her move. Mama had gone downstairs to box up Aunt Emma's kitchen, leaving Jane upstairs to help Emma pack her sentimental items. Jane stopped what she was doing for a minute and gazed out the open window of Emma's two-store farmhouse. She saw the roof of her own home, which stood at the far end of the cornfield. The wind carried the pounding of her father's hammer as he proud finished the construction of additions to their new home, complete with extra rooms from for Emma. Emma sighed Emma sighed, this old house is too big for me to ramble around in now that I am all alone. Young Jane's face reflected the anguish she saw on Emma's. It was still hard to believe Emma's husband and four children wouldn't come racing up the steps again. They were gone forever, all dying in 1 week during the last year's diphtheria epidemic. Jane missed Emma's children more than anyone guessed. They had been like brothers and sisters to her. As an old child, she had spent most of her life ganging, ganging up with two girls to fend off their two older pesky brother. Now she usually cried as she walked home through the corn rows that had once been paths linking their lives. I'm really going to miss this old place. The though though Emma waved her hand toward the faded wallpaper and woodwork. This is the only home I have known since we left the old country. Her eyes filled with tears as she hugged a baby quilt to her chest before placing it in the trunk. Tell me again about living Ireland with Mama and Papa. Jane quaked, hoping to see Emma's eyes dance as usually when she recalled that adventure. You have heard that story 100 times, Emma said, as she eased into the rocking chairs with a bundle of children's clothes in her lap. But I love it, Jane begged. Tell me again about Mama and Papa then. While she never gave much thought to having been adopted, Jane something wondered whether that explained her relentless yearning for old family stories. She sat on the braided rug at the foot of the rocker and listened. Well, your mother and I were best friends, like sisters all our lives. Jane blotted in on cue. That's why I call you aunt, even though we are not related. Emma winked and smiled. The truth was, next to Mama and Papa, Jen loved Emma more than anyone else in the world. So, of course, then our husbands became best friends. Emma continued. We did everything together. That four of us, we danced. Emma's voice trailed off and her head swayed slightly as if in a time with the music. Then her eyes danced too. We start everything good times and bad. Your mama was there at every one of our children's births, even though she could never give birth to a child of her own. Emma took her usually pause and shook her head slowly. There was never a woman who wanted or deserved a child more than your mama did. She wanted a baby more than anything else on earth. I know, Zen whispered, then beamed. That's why I'm so glad I'm so glad she got me. She calls me her special gift. Emma took a deep breath. So, when my husband Patrick had a chance to come to a Wisconsin farm in America, it did not take long to decide your folks would come along too. Like I said, we shared everything. Emma rocked as she recounted the difficult journey. The storm at sea had tossed the ship for weeks longer than expected. All the passengers got sick, especially me. Imam moaned, I was expecting our fifth child. If it had not been for your mama, I would not have survived that trip. Patrick and the other were far too sick to care for me. I could tell I was about to lose the baby. She stopped to bloat tears with the child's short she was holding. Your mother left her own sick bed to help me. Her voice trailed off again. She was an angel. If it had not been for her, but the children, baby, and I would have died then and there. Jane rested her head on Emma's lap. I am so glad you made it. My life would not have been the same without you. Jane looked up into Emma's face. She knew that this was the part of the story that was hard for Emma to repeat. So Jane said it for her. Thanks to Mama, that baby girl was born on the old ship, all pink and pretty. Both their face lit up. Then fade when Jane added, but the next day your baby went to live with the angels. Emma only nodded. then abruptly stood and began placing the items on her laps into the trunk of treasures. Without speaking, she went to a bureau drawer and began sorting more children's clothes. Some own items were put in a wooden crate. Others she placed reverently into the trunk. The old wooden stairs creaked as Mama came up from the kitchen, took Jane's hand, and sat next to her on the bed. From the bottom drawer, Emma retrieved a bundle wrapped in white linen and tied with a satin bow. She took it to the bed and unwrapped it slowly. One by one, she laid the tiny white garments on the bedspread. The, these are the baptisms gowns I made for each of my babies before they were born, she said softly. Mama squeezed Jane's hand. Emma's finger trembled as she smoothed the fabric and straightened the lace on each delicate gown. I stitched each one by hand and coaxed the trim myself. Mama reached for Emma's hand and stroked it as if they both knew now was the time to tell me the whole story. Emma picked up the gowns on one at a time. I was to give them to my children to keep when they grew up. She could barely speak. This one was Collins, this one was Saints, this was Catalin's, this was Margaret's, and this one was yours. Thoughts, memories, and old stories tombed widely in Jane's head. She stared into the mama's eye before turning back to Emma. Okay, now just one page. What are you saying, Auntie Ma? Emma's voice shocked. Did you ever notice I never said that baby girl died? Just that she went to live with God's angels. Jane nodded. I was that baby. Her lips curved in a hesitant smile. And Mama and Papa were God's angel on earth. Now Ima nodded. It was tradition in the old country. When someone could not have a baby, another family would give them one of theirs. I love your mama so much. Her voice broke, so Mama finished the sentence. She and Patrick gave us the greatest gift of love. Jane's smile waned. Your special gifts? She wrapped her arms around her mama. Tears flooded down Mama's cheek as she rocked Jane in her arms. It's as if God gave you to Papa and me for safekeeping. Jane, Emma cried softly. Oh Jane, I have lost you with the others. Jane fondled the baptism gown in her hands, then embraced Emma, whispering, "Thank you." The sound of Papa's hammering drifted through the open window. Emma smiled and her eyes danced. 12 years ago on that ship, I gave your folks the greatest gift. Now they shared a special gift with me. These stories are written by Len Thiman. Thank you for listening full video of this story, and I'm trying to improve my pronunciation, and it helps to uh, talk. It helps to improve my communication skill and English, communicate with English with all the people. So I'm glad to capable. I'm glad for I can capable to read every book. So thank you for listening all the video. If any mistake, sorry for that mistake, and you can comment how can I improve my English, and sorry, not after the end. So thank you, goodbye.